Hello, everybody, and welcome to Chuvash, Russia, Amazonia Park. It is a very cold afternoon here as we go for 3 laps of qualifying. Corvid here as first, he's trying swerving to get his tires in the heat. It's very cold here. He wants to take this first line very tight all the way around. Keep the foot on the gas, a little lift there. Keep it tight here. And then 2 hairpins following each other. You need to maximize the exit in especially the second one. A little kink in the road here. Coming up to this corner, smooth corner, a little lift there, then braking and just opening up the last corner so you can get along the main straight. Let's see what time Corvid does. He gets a 30.60, which puts him in 4th for now. Nuno in 3rd and Hernandi and Charged have the fastest times tied so far. Let's see if anyone can improve on those 30-30. Nuno here driving along. He has said he wants to enjoy racing more. Let's see if he enjoys racing more. On pole position today. No improvement for him. Some other improvements. The anti-amazing goes to 3rd with a 30-40. Flicks in 6 now, a very good result for him. No lap time set by Figo so far. I wonder what happened there. Here Grandy in 7th, also good for him. Rosum in 8th. Let's see if Grandy improves. And he doesn't, but Nuno does. And so do Hernandi and Joe Taylor, which means that Hernandi will be on pole by only 100th of a second. That is a tiny margin. Let's go through the starting lineup. It's gonna be Hernandi on pole and Charged joining him on the front row. Big expectations for him. He wants to turn his season around. 3rd will be Nuno, behind his teammate, and then in 4th a great qualifying for Nordic Thunder with the anti-amazing, both of their drivers starting in the top 10. P5 for Corvid, good result, same time as Katter in 6th next to him. Kubo P7, Kraft P8, Denimator will be 9th, Grandy will be rounding out the top 10, Rosim 11th. With a lot of improving people, Flix went down to 12th after being in 6th for a while. Still a good qualifying result. I think it is his best so far. Not 100% sure. Jeru in 13th, X6 in 14th. 15 will be Matimar, then Jurist, Rusky, and no time set for Vigo. I don't know what happened there, but everyone else is within a second.
Figo is saying that he did 30.72, but it didn't say he got anything.
All
He's saying
right.
that in driver radio.
I've just left the results, so will we put him back in the order or not?
I mean, I also didn't see any time from him, so
So with
I, d-
unfortunate events, I think Figo has to start in the back. Let's see if he can recover from that unfortunate event as we wait for the race to start. A lot of excitement for this race. So everybody is readying up for this race. So we're gonna start. Hernandi from pole. The 5 red lights are gonna turn on. Some split strategies. Some people on the hards, some people on the softs. No mediums. Hernandi goes. Split strategy on the front row. LSA drivers want to make this a 1-2 quickly. Charged forces Nuno a bit wide, loses a lot of positions, and it's a 1-2 for LSA for now. Katter, where has he come from? That's a great start from him. He's battling for 2nd now. Anti still in 4th. Katter into 2nd, challenging Hernandi for the lead now. As he tries to go around the right side, there's no room for him there. And Nuno Corvid comes charging in, with Nuno losing that battle for now. Then he's still in front, followed by Kedder and Corvid. Big rivalry between them so far this year, with Kedder missing the first 3 races as they swapped positions of teams. Rosem in 6th, Flix in 7th. That's great promotions for their starting positions. As Rosem mistakes, Flix wins a position there, and Anti tries to go around the outside. Doesn't work for him. Rosem gets the slipstream. Flix makes a mistake now. Can Rosem get the position back? He will think better of it for now. So we try and go back to the lead. Kedder still trying to follow Hernandi, using that slipstream. Maybe he can use it to get past at some point. And Corvid dives in the side of Kedder as Kedder wants the attack, but has to defend now. And both of them pushing each other along towards Hernandi. Hernandi holds on for now, but Corvid gets second. As a battle for 4th is going on as well. Charged after starting on the front row and losing some positions. Wants to go for Nuno. But the difference between him is he is currently the best driver on those hards. The top 4 are all on softs, and Charged staying with them on those hards, as Hernandi has managed to creep away a bit because of the battling of Kedder and Corvid. And look at that, Figo starting last because of some issues, already up to 9th. That's great for him. Can he promote some more positions? Let's see if he can get attached to Anti, get that slipstream. Try to find a gap for him to put his car, with Jurist right behind him in the top 10 right now. Also very good for him. As Nuno gets up to 3rd, past Corvid. Does Corvid want to get back at him or settle for now? He wants to get back at him. He wants the position back. Doesn't quite get it yet. Tries again. Makes a mistake. Goes in too early. And Nuno actually gets seconds from that. And gets into second. As Kedder and Corvid battle some more. That may be an all-race battle. As Kedder goes into the pits. Another early pit stop for Kedder. He does seem to love that undercut. Will it work out for him? As he is the first into the pits. He will come out right behind Rusky, who's struggling to keep a hold of the pack. Let's hope for Kedder. Rusky won't keep him up a lot. And he won't. Those tires are gone for Rusky, and Kedder has fresh ones. Let's see if others go into the pits now. Hernandi staying out. Nuno staying out. Corvid staying out. Charge still right behind him with those hards. Very good for him. Flix also on the soft, staying out in 6th for now. Great result. And look at that. Figuero starting last in the top 5 after only 8 laps. That's an amazing achievement. And he's now the second on the road with those hards tire, who are seemingly starting to get better than the softs right now. The hards are really coming alive now, and the softs will be thinking about pitting. But Hernandi still goes on. Nuno goes in the pits. Corvid goes in the pits. Let's see what tires they will take. Nuno go for the hards now. Corvid as well. And so will Flix go into the pits for him. As Hernandi is now the only soft runner. But he has a little gap. Let's see if he can get undercut. If he will get undercut or not. He probably will go into the pits right now. Let's see what he will do. There he goes. There goes Charge to the lead with Figo and Anti right behind him. And Kedder is forcing his way through the field, and that undercut has worked for him amazingly now. As Hernandi is in 13th with his teammate Nuno, both pitting. Rosim not yet pitted, Kobo as well. They are getting past. But Kedder is in top 5 right now. So there's about 5 or 6 cars between Hernandi and Nuno and Kedder, as Juras lets Kedder past in a top 5 position right now. Not yet pitted, but still good for Jurist. The battle for the lead continues. Anti goes to the outside of Figo. Figo goes wide and leaves no room. And Anti switches back and gets into second on the road. But Kader is catching up on them with those softs. His first soft stint was 6 laps. He's already done 5 on these ones. So will he be pitting soon again? But maybe the hards will be pitting as well. Let's see how this strategy will unfold for the Colombian driver. There's a lot of different teams in the top 5 right now. Kader goes around the outside of Charged, tries to make it work, makes it work, muscles his way through, gets into the lead. He will stay out. Charged and Figuera will both pit, so will Anti, trying to stay with them. And Kader now has a big gap to Hernandi, 4.5 seconds. As Nuno is still reasonably close behind, but he's on hards, while Hernandi and Kader are still on softs. So is Flix, the rest of the field, all pitting for the first time, and all on hards. As Hernandi does seem to be closing the gap, and Kader goes to the pits once again for a second stop. Once again, very early, a lap longer stint than last time this time. But he might make a pit stop extra than everybody else. So Hernandi now once again in the lead. Kader has come out in 5th, that's amazing for him. Now in 4th. So pit stop extra and still 4th, right behind Corvid, in which he battled a lot with at the start, with a big tire advantage. Figuera behind him, once again starting last and now in the top 5. There's a big battle going on here. Kraft, Mati, Jeru, all for the lower top 10 positions. So Mati and Jeru side by side all the way through all of these corners, squeezing, cut back, but it goes way wide. That's so unfortunate for the Belarusian, as he loses a lot of spots into 12 now. X6 down the inside as well, down to 13th. Danimator gets through, all his momentum was lost and a lot of positions as well, and he's down into 14th, not what he would have wanted. It's Figo and Corvid. Corvid makes a mistake there, loses 2 spots as well. That's very unfortunate, as Figo is using Kader's slipstream very wisely right now. Meanwhile, there's a gap of about 1.7 between Nuno and his teammate Hernandi. It's a LSA 1-2, but Kader with the alternate strategy might surprise them, but might need to make a pit stop extra. With a 1.5 gap now, let's see if Nuno can stay reasonably close with those hard tires, while Hernandi's soft tires are now starting to falter with 8 laps on them. I don't know what happened to Flix, but looks like a DNF for him, unfortunately, as Nuno takes the lead. But Kader and in his tow Figo are really closing in on Nuno, and Figo's having a big help of these soft tires of Kader without having the tire wear himself. So Kader is using up his tires and Figo is using up Kader to get closer to Nuno and get closer to the lead. As Nuno has older tires than Figo and Kader. There he is, he's closing right now. And it would be amazing if Figo could take the lead from last to first in about 20 laps. But there's a lot of things to go his way, that need to go his way for that to happen. As Kader is going to try and make a move for the lead. Nuno makes his car very wide, goes very defensive, stays in the lead, goes a little bit wide. Kader now on the straight should have a little bit more pace. Doesn't quite get there. A little bit of contact. Kader tries to go around the outside here. Gets the inside for the next corner. Figo tries to go around the outside. No room for him there. And he loses a spot to Charged. Meanwhile, all this fighting is allowing Hnandi to catch back up, as all of these cars are now in the tow of Kader's softs, who are also starting to wear once again, and Kader goes in the pits, Nuno follows him, and Charged takes the lead with Figo in second. Figo trying to stay in that slipstream, trying to get a very good position. He's in form, Figo is. He got a very good result last time and he wants another, even though he got an early setback. But Hernandy's closing in on them. His newer softs against old hards, he should be able to gain time on them very quickly. Behind them is Anti in 4th, doing really well. Kraft in 5th, having a quiet race so far. Nuno in 6th, having done his 2nd pit stop. And Kader in 7th, having done his 3rd. Then behind them it's a group of Madimar, Danimator, Eurus and X6 side by side. Let's see who comes out victorious. X6 tries a cutback. Eurus does very smart defending there and keeps his car wide enough to slow down X6's momentum, as he tries to gain a little bit on Danimator now with that slipstream, but goes wide there and allows X6 to get a bit closer, but in turn he goes wide and loses a lot of time. Meanwhile, Corvette is down in 12th now on new softs. A lot of alternate strategies going on. Hards seem to be the preferred tire right now, but some people can make the difference with those softs. Kader was very aggressive with those softs, but doesn't seem to quite get as much out of these hards. As X6, Danimator, Jeru all go to the pit. Meanwhile, Charged is still being followed by Figo for the lead. Very smart of them to not battle as much, but Figo goes a little bit wide, loses some time, and he might lose the draft there. But Charge goes into pit, Figo follows, and so does Hernandi. So we have 3 of them going out at the same time. Meanwhile, Nuno takes the lead, Anti and Kader battling behind. Kader's hards are much newer than Anti's. Anti trying to hold on to that slipstream so he can gain a advantage from those new tires that Kader has. But doesn't quite seem to work just yet. Charged got away from Hernandi and Figo, even though Hernandi got to the softs, and Charged and Figo both did some new hards. Kubo here in 13th, very worn hards on him. He said he is cursed whenever I commentate. He doesn't get a top 10. He's 14th right now, and it looks like he needs to pit real soon as well. It's not looking very good for him right now. It's unfortunate for him. He wants a better result. He thinks he can do better. Let's see if he can turn it around, as we're past halfway this race. The battle of 4th continues. Figo has done a lot of good slipstreaming work today. He started 18th. I've said it a bunch, but it's amazing that he's in a top 5 position right now so quickly. He's following Nandy. He was following Charge before that, and he's gained a lot of time by not battling and just staying put and using those with better tires in front of him. As Nandy does make a big mistake, which means Figo does go past. Going after Charge, Hernandi wants to make more out of these softs, as Charge is running away from him with hards, who's now battling Kader. Kader gets away from Charged for now. Meanwhile, Nuno is loving the sound of people behind him battling away. He can just hit his marks and try to save his tires a bit and make the most of this lead and this clean air ahead of him. Big battle here going on for 9th. X6 followed by Danimator and Grandy. Would be a great result for X6 to finish in the top 10. Would be great for Fox and Goose Racing. A double top 10. They haven't had that so far this season. But he needs to hold on to these guys behind him, Danimator and Manimar, as Corvid takes another pit. As Hernandi is now the only one on soft tires. As the hard really seem to come alive when the softs are starting to die down. And Hernandi not being able to profit from these softs. Looking like an early race contention holder, but now in 4th and not closing in on Kader and Charge as much as he should do with those soft tires. He went out of the pits at the same time of Charged, and now his softs are really starting to struggle, and the hards might be better than his. Charged now in 2nd. Got ahead of Kader. Stars are a little bit older. Charge is trying to pull back Nuno. Wanting that race win this season. Hasn't had it so far. Had a great end of the season last season, and he wants it again. And Andy now going for 3rd. But Kader runs him wide. Figo tries to profit again. But Kader tries to go in the pit and punishes Figo as he tries to go around the outside. And Kader has to go another lap. Not what he wanted. A great miscommunication. As Hernandi makes a mistake and Kader goes back past him. Both of them needing to pit. As Kader runs out of room. As they're both sliding on this slippery tarmac. Charged. Now within a second of Nuno. Forces Nuno into the pits. I think Nuno is going to go to another set of hards for his last pit stop on the day. I don't think Charge wants to get undercut massively, so he might go to the pits soon as well, but I think he might get another few laps out of those tires, so he has fresher tires and can really cut down that advantage Nuno has. With Figo behind him in 2nd. Both of them are in range that another set of hards can take him to the end, but a 14 lap hard stint like Nuno is doing is gonna be very hard. So most of them wanting to go out for a few more laps so they can have an easier last stint. Most of the field doing 2 stints only on hard so far, like Charge, Figo and Croft and Anti. But Kader and Hernandi are on 4 pit stops, and Nuno and Corvid are on 3. Some alternate strategy here. Let's see who will become victorious as Charge and Figo stay out for some more laps. Which allows Nuno with fresher tires to cut that deficit right now. Cherry and Rosim doing their last pit stop of the day. Charge now going into the pits. Figo follows him. And Nuno goes back into the lead. Kraft also pits. They're all going for a 10 lap stint on those hard tires. As Kader now into the top 3 with those softs. But I don't think he can make those softs last to the end. So he will have to do another pit stop. So will Anti in 6th right now. He's letting Hernandi past. He can't make it on this set. He has a very old set on right now. He probably will pit now. No, he will use the Hernandi slipstream for another lap. Maybe try and go on the mediums or softs. The mediums really not a desired tire right now. He would be very happy with some rain right now. Corvid in 7th. I don't think he'll make it to the end, but he can make it to a soft stint. Push really hard at the end, try and get some more places. So the gap between Nuno and Charge is 2.7. It's gonna be a big challenge for Charged to close that gap, but his tires are 4 laps newer. So he has a big advantage and he can eat away at that time. But Nuno is not an easy person to catch. Doesn't matter what tire you have, doesn't matter which tire he has, he's gonna be hard to catch. But Charge is gonna give it his all with 8 laps to go. Figo trying to follow a struggling cutter on softs, want to get into those podium positions, but he can't push too hard and mess up because then Hernandi will be right behind him to profit. So he's gonna keep those turns smooth, make no mistakes, and reel in Ketter, who goes to the pit stops anyway, as he inherits a top 3 position right now. With Ketter going for a last soft, punchy stint, just like Anti and Corvette. Anti's soft stint might be a quite long one. Didn't want to do the mediums, not a very good tire here apparently. So he's gonna stretch this soft set as he comes out behind Corvette and probably wants to use him to get in front of those top 5 on hards. But it's a big gap they have to catch. It's a little bit of a smaller gap for Ketter. He can probably get some of them and try and fight his way to the podium. But once again, a very big ask as the lap counter is counting down quickly now. Charged hasn't made much progress yet on Nuno since he pitted about 5 laps ago. He's only done about 6/10. Bad lap for him that time as he wins only 500ths. He's right there though, and as he's gonna be able to visualize him soon, it might become easier because he sees him. He tries and catch him and he goes straight. A little bit of a teleport. Everybody teleports. What's going on? What the hell is going on? What the fuck? I mean, and I think that means the race is over. And I think that means Nuno is your winner. I think that means Charge the second and Figo will be third. That is an anticlimactic end to this race. An unfortunate end on this race. Not how we want to see it. But this is how it's gonna be. Official results will be far away for now. That's not what you want to see. You want it to end the race in the last lap, but unfortunately it's about 5 laps cut short. People on that last soft stint will be feeling hard done by, but a red flag will end this race right now, which means Nuno will be your winner. So I do not have official results for everybody right now. I am gonna ask Figo about his race for an interview right now. Figo, I believe this is your first podium, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it is.
How does that feel?
Yeah, it feels great, especially since the disaster that was my CL race. I think I'm just really happy that I finally reached the podium. Because I was talking about it in the last interview, like I was hoping to get a podium next season, but I didn't realize that it would come as soon as the next race, so I'm really proud.
Yeah, and you started from plumb last after some issues. How did you get up the field so quickly?
I don't know. I just rode the wave, just followed the slipstream of some fast drivers like Charge JT. So I have him to thank for that as well. And I just found myself eventually in P3, and yeah.
Do you think you obtained this podium by not battling as much as the other people behind you and profiting from their battles?
Yeah, I don't think I fought that much this race, so yeah, it's definitely a factor of me just not being in any battles, so not wasting any time.
Thank you. I also have some questions for Hanandi if he's available.
Yeah,
You look like a contender for the race win at the start. Are you disappointed with the fourth place?
yeah, it's obviously disappointing a bit. I underestimated the impact of traffic in my strategy. Like I got stuck behind so many people and getting pushed off that it could have worked. But P4, I take it. It's not bad.
Yeah, the hards seem to be the favored tire this race. Are you regretting choosing the softs at some point?
No, not at all. It could have worked. I still think it could have worked because I got held up every stint.
Okay, thank.
I should have switched the strategy. That's maybe what I regret, but starting on the softs is not something I regret.
All right, thank you. Nuno, are you there?
Yes, hopefully not with the windy.
You're a little bit difficult to understand, but congratulations. How
Yeah.
did that feel? A win? Finally again?
Yeah, but it was, I guess, the least deserved win. But I don't know. After the last race, I was so disappointed, and I just changed my mentality like entirely. I just go into the races, have some fun. I still do practice and stuff, but it's usually just trying to enjoy the game itself and yeah, I guess enjoy. Sometimes doing fast, but not really caring much if I'm doing well compared to the others or not. So in this race, I was really just vibing on the VC, and yeah, but yeah, in the end, I was certainly lucky. I decided to go for the 14 laps stint on the hard, which I know was crazy, but I couldn't care less. So yeah, in the end, he did help me, I guess. The crashing, like I just suddenly saw all the cars flying. We have this thing called the Lag Storm, which we didn't have for ages actually. And so, and yeah, I know like with Shire GT would have been very close. He had 3 laps fresh hards or or something,
Yeah,
and
four.
he could have certainly won. Like he was really getting closer. Although I think I was holding on the pace as well. But yeah, it would not be easy if you would catch me. It would be terrible for me. So yeah, I think like the crash really was like could it be more lucky? I'd say I think it's the first time I win a race this way, with the server crashing like earlier. So
Right.
yeah, in the end, I think the strategy wise was actually great. So I think I did a good thing to just go for hearts after the first stint of slots because everyone else was just doing hearts, and I thought maybe if I went for softs, I would probably just get a lot of traffic to go through with softs, which is not great. I think that screwed up Hanandi a bit at some point. So yeah,
Well, glad to hear that you enjoyed it again. Um, I've certainly never seen a lag storm before. It was an experience. But I will want to congratulate you once again, and I want to thank every driver and every watcher of this race. I will see you next week when we go to Blarney in Ireland for another great race. Nuno, the winner, charged, maybe feeling a little bit hard done by with that unfortunate red flag. First podium for Vigo. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.